All right. So we're gonna just jump. This one is about Star Wars colon Maul dash the Shadow World. Shadow Lord. I almost said Shadow World. And of course, in great fashion, I'm sure every podcaster loves the fact when everybody drops two episodes in 1 week. Especially when you're a geek like us and we have Daredevil and we have this, and I am currently finishing up Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
I'm watching Invincible, The Boys.
Right? It's like, thank you. Like, thanks for dumping everything onto our laps. But
Right.
what we had, I think, with Maul Shadow Lord is some of the best lightsaber dual action we've seen. Um, gosh, it might be, dare we say the best?
Are we talking animation?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we animation. Oh,
I
yeah.
was
No,
gonna say,
we're not gonna
I
do
was
live.
like, listen, it's good. It's not the
No, we're not going live. We're not going live action because obviously, the Duel of the Fates, I think, is
yes,
still like going to be, one of those. And
agreed.
and you and I agree, there were some pretty legit lightsaber action scenes in The Acolyte.
100%.
Like
100%. For all
we
the things
we
they did wrong, the lightsaber duels they got right.
right. So I mean, it's like okay, like so. Yes, no, definitely we are not. I am
Okay,
by no means. I am
I'm
not.
with you. I think it is top three for sure. I've been rewatching the Clone Wars, and I will say there was a fight with Obi-Wan versus Maul and his brother Savage Opress. That one was really good. And then I think Ahsoka versus Maul at the final season was pretty good. But I would say this, I say top three. Honestly, I would put it top two, but the argument could be made for one. Like it was that good, and the animation was that good.
And I have to say, not only the lightsaber action between Daki, Devon, and Maul, but also the gun battle that was
Yes,
going on, the firefight that happened towards the end of that. I believe that was episode 4 that all happened.
correct.
Yeah, because you had the lightsaber duel, and then you had that firefight going on with it's not the Pike Syndicate anymore. It looks like they kind of bowed down to
Yeah,
Maul. So he's got this. It's called the Shadow. Is the Shadow? Is it the Syndicate? It's not the Shadow
the
Syndicate.
Shadow Collective.
Shadow Collective. Yes. So what we are talking about episodes 3 and 4 of the Maul series, and 3 opens up basically where we kind of left off with 2 is Devon gets out. I can't think of the little guy's name. It's not Docky.
The
Vario.
little, yeah,
Vario. He's like him. Hey, it's that easy. Show me how you got out. Devon escapes and has a sit down with Maul, and it is one of the things that I've always appreciated about good Star Wars stories is the conversations between, I mean, the fights, the lightsaber fights, granted, yes, it's great. I mean, but some of the best stuff comes out of when the Jedi and the Sith talk. Have their
yes.
have their talks about ideology and how the Sith, for all of their problems and all of their flaws, by no means am I saying that the Sith are good, but I mean, yeah, I do have the Empire on my arm. Um, um, they're not good, but they are. I love when they point out the hypocrisy and the flaws in the Jedi.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
Maul telling Devon the jet, like why? What do you find redeeming? You're starving on the streets. What are you getting out of this?
And he's so calm with it. And like you said, I think that is one of my favorites when you have two sides that are so set in their ways, basically just calling each other out, essentially. I mean, one of the best parts about the Acolyte, one of the best lines that we had talked about was when I think they go are coming after Chimere and he killed a child, and they're like, "Well, you've killed this child," and his response was, "You brought her here." Like, like it's just stuff like that. But with Maul, just it was so calm, and thought out, and yes, like just so good.
So, I mean, so they have their sit down and they talk, and basically Maul's like, listen, um, I don't want to, did he kind of allude to the fact that like you're basically abandoned as a child and you were turned over to this order that is now being hunted.
Yeah.
And I don't, you're surviving like hand to mouth here. Why don't you come on and be my apprentice? And I can train you how to use like basically like you'll be actually helping more than what you can as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Because we do find out in episodes 3 and 4, the one thing neither one of them want involved on Janix is the Empire.
Yeah. Yeah. Of all their differences, everyone involved, the Jedi, the Sith, and the police are all just like, hey, hey, there's one thing we don't want, and it is that giant ship just hanging out in uh uh what's the cop? Wagner Mora, his
Yep.
character was basically like once the Empire gets here, they don't leave. Which I mean, you saw
Right.
that with Rebels and when they were over Lothal. Like if they're here, they're here.
Right. Right. Yeah. So like we do find out at the end of 4 when I do like the music sets up and you see the Imperial ship show up over Janix that like
Yes.
basically things are not going to go great because now you have again, like I said, we have Maul and we have the Jedi and Lawson as the a third party. Nobody wants the Empire involved
No.
at all. Like
Now you've
nobody
got
does.
Inquisitors. Now the Stormtroopers are going to be there. Curfew, like all of that, which is what all of them were trying to avoid, obviously for different reasons, but
Right.
still.
And Maul is not so happy with his other Sith Lord that's out there.
Yes, he made that very clear, and I thought that was great because he essentially talked about how they have the same enemy and how, his mother was killed and his brother was killed and all just kind of breaking down how and he doesn't really consider himself a Sith at this time. Like, I know people still consider him a Sith, but he doesn't even align himself with the Sith in that way because they have wronged him as well.
And now this takes place after Order 66. Is
Mhm.
Darth Vader currently around or we even past Darth Vader's death?
No, he is still around at this point. Yeah, Vader's still around at this
Okay.
point. Because it's not long, it's shortly after Order 66. So I think
Okay.
honestly at this point, Vader's probably at like the peak of his powers. Like the
Okay.
stuff that you see in the comics where he's just out, just dog walking any
Right.
opposition.
Right. So we don't have the rule of two going on right now because like you
Correct.
said, even though it's Darth Maul, he's not I mean they can consider themselves Sith. They
Yeah,
just can't
okay, true.
consider themselves, I guess. Oops, they can't consider themselves Sith lords,
Yeah,
Darth type.
they are dark side influenced.
Right, right. They are they're yes, they're not definitely not Jedi, but he is but even then taking on an apprentice would kind of mean that he's kind of angling for, I
Yes.
believe, that position. So, and they're not
One thing I
very
did love
go ahead.
about their conversation is when Devon kind of was not just standoffish, but not even willing to give him a chance when he was very calm pouring the tea. He said, and I was like, oof, but he said, "You made your assumptions of who you think I am.
Right.
Would you like me to be that person?" I was like, oh, that was the calmest, scariest threat you could ever give. Because he's like, you've heard the stories about me.
Right.
And to this point, I haven't really hurt you. Like, yes, I had you in a jail, but I told you to escape. I told you to do all of this. But if you want
And
me
I
to
had
be the
you
Maul you've heard of,
right, and I had you looked at, and I had your injuries fixed.
yes,
I didn't say like touch you in a gentle way, but like I have been in this close of proximity to
yeah,
you, and have only helped you, let you escape,
yes,
and even after that, when she steals his lightsaber, still he could crush her to, I
yep.
mean, like squeeze and crush her death. Sam Witwer
Oh.
his voice acting as far as Maul goes, like I hope we don't ever lose this character because I mean I know we will, but it's just he's just so good at it.
He
He's
has
so
embodied that
good.
character. He just the soothing voice, the not monotone, but just the tone he uses, but the way he can kick it out back when he's like yelling about Kenobi or whatever. Like he gave that character so much depth over the years, and yes,
He's so
he's
menacing.
so good.
He's so menacing without saying
Yes,
very much. Like, or
yes,
they're saying you choosing his words wisely, like you said, that like I haven't been that person, but by all means, I can bring him out at any moment
right,
that you would like to see him. Like, if you need that to be the justification, like for what's about to happen
right.
between us, then I'm willing to do it. We
I'm
can
more
end
than
this right
willing.
here, right now. Like, you don't understand. You're still alive right here, sitting across from me, simply because I'm allowing it.
Yes, that
Nothing
was
more, nothing less, nothing more. Like I am allowing you. Each breath you take is at the behest of me.
because I am choosing to
I am
to allow
choosing
it.
to choosing to let you have them
Yeah,
because that's and so when he does his, she, Grit gets a lightsaber from him and he kind of stalks her around still with great dialogue, like just kind of taunting her and kind of feeding into what every Sith feeds into the Jedi is your anger, your frustration, your irritation, because no matter how much the Jedi like to pretend it's not there, they're human and they have it going on. I mean, like Yoda was the biggest troll of all with Luke Skywalker. Like, I mean, it's just like they can't tamper down their natural, and I don't want to say human instincts because some of them are not obviously human, but he taps into that fact of I'm going, it's so little to tip you guys over the edge,
yes,
and I'm going to keep doing it. And I read a review on episode 3, and I thought what was great was him when they talked about how he removes the lightsaber from her after he they have their talk and he's just like you can basically I know you're going to leave but I've given you some things to ponder.
yeah.
I'm going to let you leave, but how he has to take the lightsaber back to her because unconsciously she was going to walk away with it, with a Maul light, like a Sith lightsaber. In that moment, she was so not thinking she was going to walk off with it, and he had to be like,
I didn't
"I
even
know I've already
think
planted
about
the
that.
seeds just by the fact that you were going to walk out of this room holding that lightsaber, holding my lightsaber." And so I thought it was like that
That's
fair
good.
point. That's
That's good.
right.
Oh
I mean,
man.
like
Yeah.
because
And
like
it's just and you like you said, he is very smart, he's very cunning. He wasn't doing the approach of just like, hey, we can be super powerful and blah blah. Like he realized that wasn't going to work. He appealed to the fact of like you're on the streets begging, on the run, hiding. So am I.
right.
But look at me. I'm in hiding just like you, but I'm thriving. He planted the seeds. He showed the hypocrisies. Like he did such a good job of just planting those seeds. And like you said, she didn't even realize it, and she was about to run out of there with a red lightsaber.
With a red lightsaber,
Oh
right? Like
man.
yeah, right. So it's like and it's like, yeah, like you're on the run, you're being hunted um by this empire that we both don't want involved right now in our lives. And I'm willing to give you, and I'm not only willing to give you like a bit of security and food in your belly and injuries to be, and possibly money, but I'm going to give you the same thing that I'm out here doing, which is revenge.
Yep.
How much would you like the revenge on the people that pressed order 66 on everybody and have you hiding in alleys and sleeping out in the rain and stuff like that? So because like she clearly, when we see in episode 4 when she's reunited with Daki, he's still kind of cold to her. He's very like she's kind of like, does all of this mean that you're glad I'm back?
It's the flaw of the Jedi, and the whole attachment thing is you have to be so okay with letting things go that even the things or people closest to you, you are taught, conditioned, indoctrinated to just being like, huh, about it. And I remember, as I said, I'm rewatching the Clone Wars episodes. There's an episode where Ahsoka and Barriss Offee get buried under some rubble, and Anakin is like willing to move heaven and earth to find them,
Right.
and Jedi Master Luminara, Barriss
Hmm.
Offee's master, is basically telling Anakin like we've looked for them for a little bit, we can't find them. And they kind of have a little back and forth where he's like, I'm not giving up. I believe they're still down there. And she's like, and I'm willing to accept that we can't control some things, and I'm willing to essentially move on and get a new Padawan. Like
Right.
like that, and you kind of just see it. And again, all of these episodes kind of just show you how, yes, Palpatine helped push Anakin in that direction, but the Jedi were just as like they were also pushing for every push
Right.
that Palpatine did. The Jedi were like, yeah, let me also help push you that way.
Which is why Ahsoka was like, I'm
Yeah,
out. Like
yeah,
I've seen enough of this to know you guys even have it wrong. Like
yep,
I don't know. I don't know what, like I obviously don't want with them, but I am now, the blinders have been pulled off, and no matter what kind of Kool-Aid you're all expecting us to drink, the indoctrination still isn't enough for me to believe like whatever you're doing is the right way either. There's got
for
to be a
sure.
way. There's got to
And
be
you
a way
see
to,
Devon kind of thinking, seeing that now.
right, like to, it's the whole, we're not going to involve ourselves. However, we do involve ourselves when we pick and
Yes. When we
choose.
pick and
And
choose. Yep.
right, we're going to decide
100%.
what's good. Yeah. So you kind of see that with Daki is like um he's still holding on to that we're peacekeepers, we don't get involved, and she's like, we're starving. Like
Yeah.
we've got to bend the rules occasionally. Like this is, and so I think even just being reunited with him once again kind of like is another like click for her, for everything, the conversation that she had with Maul and just the exchange that they had, and kind of like, you're not fully pushing me away, but I'm now, I have this whole other ideas and these thoughts and ideologies that I'm starting to see that, okay, not only did he not kill me, maybe not everything they say about this guy is exactly what they're saying, but it's like, no, that's still, he's still who
He's
he
still a
is.
bad guy. As much as I like the complexities of his character,
Right.
at the end of the day, like, yeah, this is a bad guy. And I think that is important for people to remember. It's
Right.
easy the way they write the characters, and it's like just because we're saying the Jedi were also flawed
Right.
doesn't mean we're putting them and the Sith like on the same level.
No, 100%. We're not saying like, hey, well, the idea then is that the Sith are great people. We're just saying they're both flawed in their own ways, and the Sith are just much more upfront about it.
Yes. Which
They're,
in
yeah,
some ways you can say is admirable. Like again, you're still terrible, but at least you're not pretending. Like you acknowledge what you are,
right,
and you can at least respect that. Like, yeah, you are terrible. You are terrible humans, creatures, but at least you know that as well as me,
right.
and you're not lying about it.
It's like still haven't gone as far as to start kidnapping children
Right.
to
Exactly.
serve in wars.
Yeah. We don't have little kid generals running around, which again, people complain about what Disney's done with Star Wars, and I'm not here to have that debate, but the two instances with the Acolyte where Chimera is like, you brought her here, and then in the Ahsoka show, having the flashback of Ahsoka being like 12 and being like, we're in the Clone Wars, and it just seeing that non-animated of like, oh,
They have
you're
babies at war.
12.
Right. They have babies at war, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's, and they're, and even when Order 66 happens and Anakin shows up with the younglings, they're all, from my understanding, aren't don't they all have lightsabers at this point? And they're all training like, aren't they, all the kids are like training to like
Yes.
not, yes. So I mean, you've given them weapons.
And it's not, well, it was defensive training only. Like,
What was
what
it?
was it? You're just gonna disarm
Really?
the battle droids and let them go? Like, I don't
Or
think that's what's gonna happen.
like that's a teaching them from a young age to hold a gun. So that's
Yes. Yeah.
just saying. So we also see in episode 4 that yes, in fact, that we think Vario at one point we think Vario is setting up the Pike Syndicate. Then it looks like that he's turned on the Maul turned on Maul and delivers him, which is crazy because it's like, why would I even think that Vario could take him out? But
Right.
then it's realized that Maul switched place with another one of them, and that he comes down, basically takes out everybody else with the Pike Syndicate, and says to the guy, it was at I can't think of his exact name, Marge Krim. Yes,
Yes.
Marge
Yeah,
Krim. Yes,
Marge Krim.
Marge Krim, and is like, let's just go back to the way things were. You're going to basically just, I'm going to let you live, but you're going to be under my rule. And we still have Vario still kicking around, which I am impressed that he's still alive.
Weaseled his way out of all this different stuff.
Right.
Good for
Um,
you.
Lawson, I guess, gets a tip that um that Maul and the Pikes and everybody have gathered. He shows up. I think Two Boots kind of says this is going to be a little bit out of our league. Let's alert the Empire. He deactivates him, which I was like, this might not turn out so great for you because I'm still kind of waiting for Two Boots to turn.
Here, not to be a two boots defender, but
Okay.
as I've watched the episodes, and I've watched the new Rockstars breakdown, and I know Eric and everybody hates two boots. Two
No,
boots.
I don't hate him. I just am waiting. Like I just don't
Oh,
trust him yet.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like
My thing is the protocol droid is following protocol.
right,
A
sure.
Sith is here. You guys are way out of your depth. You've got a Sith dealing with multiple syndicates on your planet, city, whatever. You are out of your depth. And while us, the audience and the Jedi and Maul, know that the Empire is evil,
Right.
from the droid's perspective,
Right.
calling in the ISB, calling in the Empire to help with this situation is what you're supposed to do. So deactivating it, like, I get it. We
Did you
don't
think he
want the
was
Empire there.
No, we don't. But do you feel like he forgave him a little too fast?
I do. I do.
He was
Yes.
like, "Oh, I know you basically took advantage of me, like,
That's
and
the
did the
thing.
one thing that I can't, like, is kind of a violation of
Yes,
me." And
I
he's
felt bad for Two Boots because,
okay,
like, I look at droids in the Star Wars universe as true sentient beings. I
right,
feel bad for the droids when things happen to the droids.
sure,
So, like, you deactivated, like, yes, you violated that droid
right,
because the droid was trying to do what it thought was right. I was like, oof, Lawson. Especially when the droid thinks all of this is because of the ex-wife. Like, that,
right,
that doesn't help. Because that droid's like, really? Like, you don't want to see your ex-wife that badly?
right. He's like, "Hmm, is it so bad between you and her that like
Right.
you're not going to call in the authorities? You're going to
Right.
call in the government to help?" So yeah,
But I can see Two Boots at some point turning on him for sure. But like
yeah.
as of this moment right now, what he did was justified.
No, you make a good point. Yeah, he is a protocol droid, and they do follow protocol.
Yeah.
Yes, the Skywalkers constantly took advantage of C-3PO in
Yes.
this situation, especially what I think teaming him up with R2D to kind of help because R2 was like, I don't have the same problem. Like
Yeah, exactly.
whatever they want me to do, I'm gonna do. I know who the bad guys are. Like I don't need to
Right.
be told. So we do see that Maul even offers Lawson a truce and says, "Hey, we both don't want them here. Like, let's just go about doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
You go one way, I'll go the other way." And which again, once again, we see. I'm not 100%, but I'm not sure if we see Devon looking at that exchange like, oh, like he's not even killing the cop. Like,
Right.
he's just on a revenge tour against criminals already. Like, but he's not taking out anybody innocent. Like, this is, maybe she sees it, maybe she doesn't, but we do have Devon and Daki engage Maul in a lightsaber duel, which we alluded to at the beginning of this, which was pretty great.
So good. The lighting plays when you're dealing with, as they say, a laser sword that it illuminates. The lighting is so good. And I think having it in that dark space with the art style that they have, and you see the red and blue contrast to each other with the dark background, and then just the quick movements.
Yes,
I,
because
w- I
during the
went
fight,
back and watched it a couple times.
yeah, during that firefight scene, which I even thought was great, was you see Lawson looking up on like the scaffolding and him seeing the red and the blue
Yes.
like go, and I thought that was just so well done. Like you see them both, and you know that it's though everybody up there fighting, and that it's kind of, even though there were a lot of battles at the end of that episode, it's the calm before the storm because of the Empire showing up.
Yes.
And so it's like, mm, how much now of it is going to be Maul? Is everybody going to be fighting each other kind of thing? Is
That's a good question. Also, one more point about the lightsabers. I thought it was a good touch to have both of the Jedi's lightsabers being blue. Obviously, green is the
sure.
standard other color, but I think just choosing two colors, choosing the two most vibrant colors, made for a very good visual fight. You
Yes.
weren't trying to focus on, because you look at Anakin and Dooku and Yoda and Obi-Wan, it's always like red, blue, and green, red, blue, and green. This was like red and blue and a dark background.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah, I agree with you. Or that is also a question I have of when the Empire does get there, how does this get split?
Right. 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 Like how it's going to be everybody fighting against each other, because clearly we see, well, not the entire police force, because some of the police force believes that the Empire should show up, but Lawson's the only one that doesn't. We do want to see more. You would hate to see his, you can see kind of the seeds being planted of like his son going to the Empire and helping them out because he misses his mother and he doesn't see anything wrong with the Empire. They're just the government in charge at the
Yeah.
moment. And, like they're the one, they want to know that crime is happening too. Like that's so
Depending on how in depth they like one and I could be way overthinking it, but Lawson could be in some trouble because once the Empire gets there and they start asking, okay, like where did you see him? How long ago did you see him?
right.
All of that is going to turn to, okay, then why are we just now
Mm.
getting this call? And I'm not saying he's going to get demoted or thrown in jail, and it could be glossed over completely. But in my mind, I'm like, Lawson, like, you could be screwed right now.
Right. Because does Two Boots tell the Empire that he's been putting off contacting them?
Right.
Does he say,
And
"Hey, he
especially since it's
deactivated
Maul.
me"? Yeah,
He
does he?
deactivated me to stop me from getting to you guys.
Right.
Like, that's your job, bro.
Right, right. So it's like, oh, okay. And then you just have Maul just being Maul. So, but he's clearly trying to recruit. He found a pretty powerful Jedi who's kind of disillusioned with where she's at in the
Yes.
order of things and is kind of, now how many episodes of this are we getting?
10.
10. Okay.
I
So,
think that at some point, she I don't know how many police down there saw the lightsaber duel. I know Lawson did, and he commented on like, "Why didn't you tell me you were a Jedi?" Which stupid question. You know why.
right.
But once the Inquisitors and all of them show up, what I think is going to happen is they are going to be like either the Inquisitors or someone is going to have Devon dead to rights, and Maul is going to save her, and I think that's gonna be like the final push of like, you know, I can fix him type of thing. Like I
Right.
think that's what's going to be like maybe he's not good, but he's not the bad guy that I was told because I think he is going to save her. I think he's fought her, like you said, when she got out of her little jail cell, he allowed her to stay alive, and he
Yes.
fought her twice now and has beaten her twice and has
Right.
let her live twice. I think she gets caught up with the Empire. This a gang of stormtroopers, inquisitors, something. I think he
Kills
saves her.
Dak. You think like he something outside of those two kills Daki,
Yes,
and he saves her from
yes,
like the last second from the Empire
that
swooping
is
her.
what I think is going to happen.
I mean, fair point. Now, are there supposed to be 2 episodes every week?
That is
Because
an excellent question, and it's so funny because I would hate like never did I think I'd be complaining that we get 2 episodes in a week, but like
right.
um yes, the next episodes are the 20th and the 20th, 27th and the 27th, May the 4th
Oh,
and May the 4th.
okay. Oh, okay. So that's why they're trying to
It
do it on.
ends on May the 4th. So yeah, that was the reason for the release order. But
I
yes, it's
mean,
two and
that's
two for the next 3 weeks.
all right. Well, I mean, that's what we've got to look forward to. It's good stuff. I think we're in a powder keg kind of moment, kind of episode here at the end of 4. Um, yeah. So we're gonna end this one. We're gonna post this one later this today, tomorrow, and because we're not gonna cover Daredevil yet, we're gonna do that in another one because lots of stuff happened, which lots. I mean, like I was very happy about all those scenes. Although, I mean, you haven't seen it yet, right?
I have watched 5 minutes of it.
Oof.
So all I know right now is that Kingpin is not letting the doctors do their jobs. That's all I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's a good um some of the best dialogue is going to be said by Bullseye, which again is not
I'm
helping my
excited for that.
my
I'm a
toxic
big
relationship.
dialogue fan.
Not helping my toxic relationship I have with any, but
Your tweets have been just
listen,
cracking me up. Honestly, I appreciate it.
hear me out. When you see one gorgeous man holding another gorgeous man by the neck, and there you're like, like heated
Very
rivalry.
close
Yeah,
proximity.
like somebody said, this is my heated rivalry.
I that one
You know,
a full
forget the
belly
hockey
laugh.
players. Give me 2 vigilantes in spandex. They'll just beat the crap out of each other.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we this is our Maul episode. We're gonna have a later Daredevil one, and then we're possibly even gonna get on here and talk about everything. Well, not everything, because holy crap, but a lot of our highlights from CinemaCon because crazy. I mean, it's just been anytime people talk about cinema being dead. I'm going to say as much as people crap on the younger generation, I want to give a good high five out to Gen Z. You guys were the ones that went out to the theaters the most last year.
Yeah.
I want you to continue doing that. Continue buying your physical media, buy your DVDs, buy your albums. You're doing a good thing. We
Yes.
need more of it. And yeah, it's the theaters are going to be. We got some good trailers and good stuff coming out.
I'm very excited.
So we're going to leave you here with this one. That's what we got for Maul. We will do Maul 5 and 6 next week. Daredevil episode 5. Yes.
Yes.
5. Um, Eventually I think they'll plan on putting Jessica Jones in it. Not to spoil anything, but
I think she's next week. I haven't seen this episode, but I know I'm on the internet enough that if she was in this episode,
you would have seen tons
I
of
would have
stuff.
seen it.
Yeah. No spoilers. She just wasn't. So I mean like
Yeah.
it's very much more of we get a lot of flashbacks and a lot of dialogue. So we will talk about this later after he has seen it, and we will say goodbye to y'all.